Hi, and welcome to the WebRTC Fiddle of the Month. And this time, we're going to talk about WebMediaPlayer and the intervention that happened around that in Chrome 92. So, Philip, can you guide us through, or let's see what the problem exactly is?
Yes, let me share my screen and demonstrate the problem. So in Chrome 92, there was a change which caused an exception to be thrown if you created a new media element, so an audio or video element, and attached a source object to it. And if you did that too often, it started throwing an exception. So we can see that we have a media element playing, and we just create a lot of them, 100, which kind of worked before, but in Chrome 92, it was throwing this error. Intervention blocked attempt to create the web media player, as there are too many web media players already in existence.
And
C,
I think,
and so on.
and the magical arbitrary number was 75.
Yes, which is the reason we have 26 errors here. Because we have one element, we created 75 or 74, and the rest through an error.
But 70-something seems like a good enough number. What's the problem with that?
Well, you might be supporting more participants in your WebRTC application, and apparently there was a bug where actually destroying them properly didn't decrement that count.
Okay.
Okay. So if we look at this, how to do it properly, we can use the WebRTC audio sample as a good starting point, and we make a call, prepare to mute the element. So we see the audio level is decoded here.
Okay, so what we see is get stats information about the audio session that we now have.
Yes. And if we just remove the element from the DOM, like parent audio 2, parent element, remove audio 2, that continues to, it stops playing the audio. So you think, oh, the element is gone. But you can see it actually continues to have the audio level. And that is a sign that Chrome is continuing to process the audio in the background.
Okay.
And if we actually set the source object to null, we can see, now let's wait for it to go up again. We can see it just drops and it won't go back up again. So this is the proper way to stop, to remove the element, to set the source object to null before removing it and then removing it from the DOM.
Okay, and I guess that that's important even for small calls because people join and leave, and that might create additional video and audio elements that we are just creating whenever someone rejoins the session.
Yes, and we can see in Chrome Media internal the life cycle. So here we had started to play in the beginning, then after 23 seconds, it went into paused mode when we removed the element from the DOM. This stopped the playout. And only when we removed the source object at 49 seconds, it destroyed the WebMediaPlayer. And this WebMediaPlayer is a pretty memory-heavy object, which you don't want to keep around for too long.
Okay. Okay, so what do we learn out of all of this? I mean, we had an issue. Let's say Google screwed up a bit by making this change and putting the limit. The reasons for putting the limits might be okay-ish. They wanted to limit the memory allocation and use in Chrome, which makes sense. It's a memory hog anyway, so let's limit what developers can do.
Yes, I mean, you need to deal with that if you have a large number of audio elements. It just doesn't work to say, oh, we support 100 participants and then never test it, because you don't notice when someone's machine runs out of memory easily. So you should be doing this very carefully, considering how many source objects do you need attached at a given point in time. For example, if you have video-muted participants, you can easily detach the source object and thereby free the player.
Okay, so developers will start to figure out how to use less elements that are being displayed or part of the DOM, and then recycle them as they move forward.
Yes.
And I guess the best advice here is to just test on Canary and Beta, because this is where you're going to find issues, and you don't want them to roll out in production, as happened in this bug for all the vendors involved, which were like a gazillion of them.
Yes. This affected a lot of people, and it couldn't be changed until the Chrome stable refresh, which happened 2 weeks after the first release. So your application might have been broken for 2 weeks. But then you should have tested in Beta and Canary, and if you didn't,
okay,
out of luck.
Okay. So thank you, and let's meet up in the next WebRTC Fiddle of the Month.